In this lecture, we are going to answer the question, what is a risk-based approach? In short, this is a way of taking and analyzing each of our organization's risk and evaluating them on a case-by-case basis. We are then going to tailor controls to that specific risk. What this does is it helps our organizations to prioritize resources. We all have limited time, limited money, limited people and talent. And so we want to make sure that those resources go to protect our biggest assets. We're also going to look at other approaches in addition to the risk-based approach. We're going to look at features of the risk-based approach and conclude with benefits. So what is a risk-based approach? This is a strategy that focuses on identifying, assessing, and prioritizing organizational risks. It also helps us to allocate resources and implement controls to mitigate the most significant threats to our most valuable assets. Why do we need to prioritize resources? Well, as I mentioned just a moment ago, organizations have limited resources, including personnel, time, and money. Similarly, not all risks are the same. They are not all equally likely. They are not all equally damaging. And so we don't want to take the same controls and apply the same controls, people, time, money, etc. to all of our data and to all of our systems. Doing so would be cost prohibitive and could even hinder business operations. In addition to the risk-based approach, there are also compliance-driven and maturity-based approaches or models. These approaches are different because they focus mainly just on meeting regulatory requirements. For example, I did the DPIA, I have a contract, I did my due diligence. These are just check-the-box exercises. What these approaches do then is they achieve a generic best practice rather than addressing the organization's unique risk landscape. We're all in different industries, different sectors, we have different systems, we have different data assets. As such, there is no best one-size-fits-all model. We need to tailor our risk approaches, our controls to our organization and our organization's assets. Features of the risk-based approach include risk identification and assessment, prioritization, tailored controls, continuous monitoring and adaptation, and aligning all of this with our business goals. Benefits of a risk-based approach include having more effective and efficient security, focusing on what matters most, supporting informed decision-making and the strategic allocation of resources, reducing unnecessary spending on low-impact risks, and strengthening protections for critical assets. In this lecture, we answered the question, what is a risk-based approach? Remember, this is a strategy that focuses on identifying, assessing, and prioritizing organizational risk. We are allocating resources and implementing controls to mitigate the most significant threats to our most valuable assets. Why should we prioritize resources? Again, our organizations have limited resources, limited time, limited money, limited people. Not all risks are equally likely or equally damaging. Therefore, we want to prioritize where our time, money, and people go. Other approaches include a compliance-driven approach and a maturity-based approach. Features of a risk-based approach include risk identification and assessment, prioritization, tailored controls, continuous monitoring and adaptation, and alignment with business goals. Benefits include having more effective, efficient security, focusing on what matters most, supporting informed decision-making and strategic allocation of resources, reducing unnecessary spending on low-impact risks, and strengthening protection for our critical assets.